Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hand of Fate 2. Let's continue. We're playing the star, although mostly we're just trying to figure out new cards and in part get shards and tokens. But there's also the hope to get lucky and actually defeat the star challenge, which hopefully would then unlock the next challenge after the star. The moon challenge, I believe, is what it would be. Or whatever the one next locked challenge is. The star seemingly only has a gold token around it. So this time I'm trying to play this fairly fast so we can do 3 or 4 runs in an episode. This time I'm just going to take the goblet away. And as soon as you take the goblet away, the people start to shout and you start to lose 5% max life. And then you have impossible dice rolls. Well, not completely impossible, but you would need to get 3 6s. Then you lose another 5% of your max life. Although, maybe your max life doesn't really even matter in this scenario, because it's just your life is always going to be lower than that. That is definitely a possibility that you could have a challenge where max life is always going to be below 85 in this case. Yeah, we definitely want help here. So we know huge failure is in the middle. So 1 in 4 chance of success. We didn't get it. And so this potentially could just be like a game over or even a forfeit. I could see the argument to forfeiting on the very first encounter just because it would be a time saver. So we're fighting an ogre here, and I'm at like 25 health. I imagine the move is to actually just stay behind him. Obviously though, that is a really difficult fight for the first encounter, leaving me with 5 health. Let's see. What equipment do we have here? We have this armor, which we now know what it does. We would like the gambler's jewel. I don't think this is as useful. We could see if we could sell something and end up with Tiger's Eye, which might be way more useful. No, I don't think I want to sell Dark Thirst, though. So buy this. That's all your money. So we just leave. Okay, this is a precision swing. So you just want to hit is the silver that is wide.
That will set you in good stead from here.
So our blessing should tell us the rest of the cards and figure out whether we want to encounter the other encounters. Let's look closer. So Terror Vein or we want to do Band of Thugs. No. Merchant Favor. Yes. Imagine we want to do Merchant's Favor first. This isn't going to take any food until we move. We find the weapons merchant carriage parked behind a seedy tavern. Sorry I had to dash last time, Esmeralda says as she welcomes you in. Her lavender eyes fix on Ariandi's steel belt. You know, I've come by a surplus of wares from the Battle of Crimson Bay. You're welcome to take some on the house. If you could use your services to mend this blasted... If I could use your services to mend this blasted thing. Esmeralda gestures to a metal contraption that looks suspiciously like a torture device. Alright. So. What do we want to keep? Spiked Bodyguard or Bone Guard would give us 20 defense. Reduces movement speed by 10. This we can't wear. And this requires fame, so we kind of have to take this one.
A suit of armor suited to your temperament.
Andy prods cautiously at the merchant's contraption that snaps shut, almost taking her finger. This should be fun. I've never seen one of these before. You agree to meet with your companion after she completes her work. For Esmeralda, you lose Ariande for 3 turns. Not that big of a deal. Which means I would need her. Which means I have an issue. Okay. So there's no way, unfortunately, to now do this quest. I should have done this quest first. I didn't know that, but yeah. I could do Band of Thugs, and that would be 1 turn. I could do Terror or Vein, but it would just cost me food and reward me nothing. So we should just move forward. Getting to pick an item to lose your companion for 3 turns is not a terribly bad deal. Where's the other guy? Way over in the corner. Even the corrupted characters shouldn't be that brain dead, though, that they're just running in corners. And there were enemies in the first game that acted like that too, and I'm not sure if they were zombies. So I have no idea where the exit is. It seems to be kind of random. So I guess the move is to probably just look everywhere. Let's ask about the weapon on display. Size charm. Can we afford it? No. Ask about this. After every encounter with combat, draw a gold gain card. Requires 14. Life from eating food increased by 50. Tiger's Eye. 4. Success or huge success chance cards. I really want to win, so I think Tiger's Eye is the one I'm going to take here. Now we have to fight to take that item. I didn't think illicit trade was still in the deck from the cards I had picked, but it's not a terrible card.
Need some for me?
Still feels very, very butt mashy fighting these enemies though.
Hunting for food, I understand, but for sport?
Okay. We will use her ability to double the huge successes. 51 out of 4 chance. Still failed. So we can't get the token, I do believe. There's not really a reason not to reroll all of that. It wasn't as rewarding as I would have liked it to be, but
I understand your beginnings were humble. Even so, I'd hoped for better.
You meet Merrick at the square. As he instructed, he gestures to a carpet seller at the bazaar. The Revi, he explains, watch and listen. If the Lord got wind you were short on your taxes, there would be trouble, says the Revi. Mind you, I do like this rug. Better you handed that over than all your stock. What do you say? I've not. That's a rare masterpiece from the Eastern Belt, says the flustered rug merchant. As the altercation continues, you notice that the Reverie's pouch hanging open. So you see it then, Merrick says with a grin. You know it's only really stealing if you get caught. Okay, let's try and steal. That's the spirit, he says. Now remember, the trick is to know when to stop, but if you're any good, you won't need to. You move behind the Reverie while pretending to admire the carpets on display. As he continues to haggle, you slide your hand into his pouch. Right, so, 10 gold. And I assume we're just supposed to steal more. And so, this is going to get more and more dangerous, but it's moving slow. And yet I fail. As you draw your hand from the bag, the Rev returns. How dare you? He says, drawing a dagger from his robe and thrusting it in your direction. You clutch your wounded hand, dropping the spoils. Interesting. You stumble back to Merrick, but he is nowhere to be found. So I wonder how many times you had to succeed there. Our fame is good enough to avoid that encounter. And we should try to succeed here. There's something I think to be said about just deciding fast and not agonizing over it. It probably doesn't increase your odds in any way of actually getting success, but no. There is a high level of randomness that I think needs to be addressed for the down to 29 health. Like how fast the dice roll up, the cards shuffle. It's just far too random, and it doesn't seem like there's any reason or rhyme to it to make the cards always shuffle slow. We've got a lot of gold. We've got a lot of fame. Let's see if we can buy this helmet then. I'm gonna sell that. I'm gonna buy this.
Radiant with potential gains.
Buy this. And since we have the ability to gain more health when we cook food, let's eat some food. You enter the hut of the local bone man. Remove your curse. He waves a burst gnarled stick adorned with feathers over your hands. Now for payment. Some favor of the gods you somehow possess will be mine, he says, insisting you drink from a dish of putrid liquid. Okay. So let's give the Fate's Path. I feel like we've given Fate's Path to him before, though. Let's give Mayor's Blessing this time. I have become more powerful, he whispers to a nearby skull. As far as you can tell, the skull doesn't answer. So, we didn't get the shard, so I'm not sure what really you needed to have given him.
I have been beyond these realms, these pathways through the shadows. You do not understand them.
Dealer's tax. Your companion takes 30% of your resource that you earn when active. Platinum gain cards have no effect. Draw a gain card at the beginning of each nap. If it is a food card, keep it, otherwise discard it. Effects of all gain cards applied twice until you leave the level, then discard this card. Well, honestly, this doesn't seem like that's too bad. Travel through purgatory to receive the purses. The blessings and curses. Whatever. So that should be like a massive 5 blessings and curses. So it feels like there's very few scenarios where that's a smart move. So, yeah. Unless we die in this fight, we'll make it to the 3rd level. It's still so button mashy. I feel like I should have defeated 50 corruptions characters by now. So we made it to the 3rd level, perhaps for the first time. Let's see. No, we still have 7 more to defeat there. And we have like 1 blessing, 2 blessings, and 3 curses.
4 square and solidly arranged.
So since I haven't read this before, let's actually read it. Boneyard. As night falls, you hear the sound of digging coming from the cemetery. You spy a coven of mages with shovels. Steadfast, they dig until they hear a metallic clanking sound. They unearth a small disc in the moonlight. You can almost distinguish a pattern on the surface. Continue to watch. Crouch behind the gnarled oak and wait to see what happens next. Dice roll. Reroll this one. I'll probably win. Wow, we still failed. Nogre trudges over the hill, dragging his club. He greets the mages with a murderous grin. They appear to be conducting some sort of trade. You consider your options. Continue to watch or sneak up on them. Let's continue to watch. You crouch behind the gnarled oak and wait to see what happens next. I have no idea what the right move is in this scenario, but it sounds wise to not run into battle. Horde of skeletons is kind of nothing, so let's get rid of the ogre. An audible grumble breaks the silent night. Ogre pats his stomach, bows to the mages, and exits the graveyard. You consider your options. Continue to watch. Nothing of interest happens. The mages examine the unearthed disc excitedly. Okay. So an unmoving gold. Pendulum test is not hard. Lift a hunk of broken headstone above your head and launch it at the gravestones. The stone flies through the air and connects with an ogre's skull, leaving only 1 enemy to fight. Interesting. Or 1 group of enemies. This guy is well defended. That was an overly defended mage, I guess, which might indicate where fighting mages would turn out to be very difficult. The battle resolved, you turn your attention to the half-buried metal disc. You fall to your hands and knees and begin to dig. We have the pinnacle, cursed, A new wielder of this item will gain a curse. Doom. Draw a curse card before every encounter. Let's explore the graveyard a little more. Oh no, that was a mistake. But it worked in my favor by a lucky
That should help.
roll. You stumble across a shrub of glistening berries. The sweet scent is so appetizing you can't help but eat a handful immediately. You continue on your journey. Okay. See if we can afford something else. Guess we should probably buy some food. Okay, so odds are high that the exit is over here on the right. So we'll just have to go north and then to the right. Here we have Arcane Affliction. Lose one blessing after every combat in which you use the weapon's ability or artifact. Let's see. We also have a new weapon. We now know what that does. And a new weapon. Now knowing what that does. And have no real money for anything.
Do what you can to find more food.
First 3 hits received in combat deal 200 times damage.
Do you know, in all my years I have never set to sea. The land seems safer, if you ask me.
So we're getting a curse with every encounter. That is a lot of curses. So how would you trade curses to make them beneficial when you potentially are going to have dozens of them? So, Mystical Island, after several hours of competitive drinking, an old cartographer has become your new best friend. Come sail with me, he slurs. I know secrets. We just need a deckhand or 3. How many of you are there anyways? When you sober up, you decide to investigate this tale of a mysterious island that rises from the depths of the sea every 7 years. We'll need a ship. Here's some gold. See what you can find. Seems you've been recruited by an aspiring captain with no crew. You gained 20 gold to procure a ship. I lost some gold even in that move. You approach a group of seafarers unloading their ship. The captain's face is crossed and weathered from too many years spent into the ocean. Offer them 20 the cartographer's gold. You convince them to set sail immediately. After a long voyage, you spy the land on the horizon. Okay. So we're, I think, looking for success. And we failed on that aspect.
Oh dear. Move faster next time.
Drop anchor and wade to shore. As you near the beach, the island begins to tremble underfoot. Corrupted creatures rise from the ground to surround the crew. Seems like we've got several enemies fighting on our side this time. Not that I really need them. The way this feels, it definitely feels like the guys are throwing bombs at each other. So that might be a good argument to never actually side with the thieves because they're going to throw bombs. Dark Thirst
Well
has been
done.
satisfied, and I just got an achievement for doing that. Let's go ahead and get rid of this card. I believe is what we're getting rid of. The cartographer documents everything he can find. The sailors follow along, searching for any hint of gold. On the third day, a wide-eyed Deccan points at the summit and shouts, "There's a glass castle up there, boys. I've seen it with my one good eye." Whipped into a frenzy, the sailors ascend the mountain. A wondrous castle of glass has been built into the side of the mountain. The sailors push past, seemingly unimpressed. If there were ever occupants, they are long gone. The sailor strips the walls of finery and loot the silverware. This trip is finally starting to pay off, says the quartermaster. What gives you the right to take what doesn't belong to you, says the exasperated cartographer. Well, they're pirates, aren't they? I suggest you help load the ship if you want to sail back in it, says the captain, waving his sword. The cartographer grumbles. All the way down as you help haul the takings. As you sail away from the island, it sinks once more below the waves, taking its mysteries with it. Back on the mainland, the quartermaster divvies up the loot. Here's your lot, he says, throwing you and the cartographer a bag of glittering gems. For paying the sailors in the beginning, you receive more treasure. You gain 4 fame. So it's saying I'm gaining 15 gold, but I'm only gaining 10.
More is sometimes better. Lacks nuance, though.
We now are getting the champion's plate mail, which we'll equip. And we've gotten that shard. So I see no reason to really ever play that scenario again. We should probably see if we can buy more equipment. Sure. Buy that. Can't buy anything else. Break camp. And continue to move forward. One more curse. We just got another achievement, which seems to be for having so many curses. Let's see, can't, I think, afford anything, or I think I want to really sell anything. Buy one food, I guess. No, buying one food was actually a total waste of money because of the curses I have. I just totally lowered everything down to 0 except for my fame and my health. So, almost certainly, the move here is to get to the exits as quickly as possible. Particularly on this 3rd level. There's just no chance. And I imagine I would have gotten the token
Games within games
on
within games.
this card by getting successful dice rolls twice in a row. Although I guess we've just done 2 failed dice rolls. So how much food and how much health do we have?
Once I was the greatest of the mages. Few there were in those days. I sought only to serve, and thus I came to the throne of life and death.
Now actually I was going to go and do the healer quest, but I hit the wrong button, so now we're going to go ahead and seal the portal. The front door gives without much resistance. Nature has reclaimed what was once a luxurious residence. Floor is buckled by tree roots, walls covering the green moss. The floorboards creak ominously beneath your feet. 10 steps from the cellar door, you pray the floor doesn't give out. Come on, just let me win one dice roll. With all the cheating I'm doing, I should be winning a lot more often. You walk cautiously to the cellar door and proceed down the stairs. The hellish vortex fills the space below the manor. You feel the heat of the mage's disc through your satchel. Monsters claw their way out of the seething portal. In the turmoil, the disc clatters to the ground. The portal draws it in and consumes it. The portal heaves, bathing you in arcane energy. With a blinding explosion, it disappears into oblivion. I still feel like I'm kind of in a good position to win here. There's the Spire of Blight down. And it's not even worth. It's not worth using a bomb a second time. Yeah, not particularly a challenging fight. Now we lose Fate's Path, which probably doesn't matter. One more. Left or right? Guess. If I was to camp, could we buy food? We can get like one food. Then can't afford anything else. Alright, so 50-50 chance. I'm gonna go right. Here, first move, almost certainly we're gonna get a
If I was weak, it was the weakness
item
of pride.
and a curse.
Time has shown that to be well-founded, however.
You walk along the seashore on a dark, stormy night, a lone gull squawking overhead. Drowned out by the crashing of the waves and the rumble of the sky, a coven of mages chant something low and ominous. Dark clouds gather overhead as the mages raise a scepter to the heavens. With a crash, lightning strikes the scepter. The mages fall down dead. One mage does, at least. So the thought here, as far as what's going on in the story, is that the mages are summoning corruption to defeat the Emperor, who is causing death because he is pushing the Empire north against the Northerners. So it's hard to tell who really is the bad guy here, even though the story definitely is being told like the Emperor is the bad guy, and that the Emperor is Kalis, the player character I think you were playing as in the first game. The chanting increases in fervor as yet another mage steps up and to heft the scepter skyward. As you approach, the mages move to make space for you. Ah, the mages holding the scepter greets you. Another believer seeking the scepter's light. Whatever he was going to say next is cut short by lightning and his subsequent death. So we're taking the scepter, I guess. And we lose 4 fame before every encounter, which may not matter. Another mage takes the scepter, but instead of raising it to the sky, he presses the cold metal into your hands. The coven watches you expectantly. Let's run for it. Enrage the mage's flink spells at you. If we're gonna get 18, we might as well just reroll all 3. We would have needed to get basically 3 5s. And remember, our Tiger's Eye ring reduces these pain cards somewhat. A ball of arcane fire, red as blood, strikes you in the back. You double over in pain, but force yourself to continue running. You run, and after some time, the mages fall behind and lose you. Alright. Another curse.
Another fortune teller.
Spyglass.
And another opportunity for you to hear naught but what pleases you.
Let's see. He wants some headgear. Let's just give him our headgear. And he puts the helmet on and looks to the sky through the spyglass. All encounters are revealed. Alright, we know we're going in the right direction. And, well, it would be nice to run and do like the Cunning Man. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think you may need gold, you may need something else, and it's way wiser to just hope to see if we can win here. The problem we're gonna run into is we need either gold or food in the next couple of moves, or we're going to die of starvation at the last step.
Gasping with each step, hoping to survive. Find food if you can. This particular card is below you, even as it represents a quick means to easy profit.
Alright, we either fail here and take pain, or we just keep all the spoils and leave. It's really slow right now, but I also don't want to die. But I'm probably gonna die in the next fight. Alright, let's just leave it there. Is that it? Says Merrick. Well, I guess you're not as good as I thought. You pocket the spoils and disappear into the crowd. If I buy 1 food here, it's not even going to help me. Alright, so I probably should have just gambled. So the hope here is that there just wouldn't be a boss fight and we would destroy the portal and we would be done.
And now we come close to the rough beast, slouching towards its birth.
A red glow betrays the location of the final portal, a dilapidated barn on a long abandoned farm. The portal churns as the others did, but expels no corrupted minions. The mage's scepter trembles in anticipation until it flies from your hand and hurtles into the portal. With great turbulence, the portal disappears, discharging all of its power. Hey, it looks like we may have just gotten lucky here. Tremors rock the barn, pushing you outside for safety. A distant summit erupts with energy, bathing the sky in red light. You doubt it's a coincidence. The summoning. apparently we have to go there. So here's the problem. We go and do the summoning, we probably die of starvation. Unless I have something here that would change that. All of these rings are equipped. We don't have anything that would prevent us from starving. There's really no other choice. We just gotta go here.
Poverty and lack of fame can make
The
life
very
miserable,
last step.
but a lack of food leaves us dead.
For drenching dark thirsts with corrupted blood, we now have an encrusted mace. And for getting 5 shard pieces, we have now an enigmatic spirit. Fortunately, we're still stuck doing the star. Even though we did make some remarkable progress there. I guess the question is to just once again ask which cards are worth it and which ones are not. If that's not worth it now, fighting to get an item probably is worth it. Mystical Island probably isn't worth it, but it did work out pretty well. Pickpocket's still a move. I don't know if Bitter Winter has ever proven itself to be actually worth it. Okay. Blessed or cursed. A certain level, if you're gonna get cursed, it doesn't feel like it matters. Take a couple of those. I guess I just don't want to change it any more than that. As far as the layout. There probably are some cards here that would be wiser to go with. So, take the encrusted maze. And then avoid failure on that still could be useful. Plus max life. Let's inspect that. Yeah, that's not useful. That's not useful. Discard and ignore the first curse card you draw. That might be useful. Gold after every combat. Still not seeing Coldborn's sword. I feel like there might be something extra that needs to happen there. Armored Corrupted. Destroy the armor of Armor Corrupted. We may not really be seeing Armored Corrupted. And sure that there's anything else You might want to find weapons that have more generic challenges to them. Otherwise, it is really going to be a case where you're going to have to play a different scenario. We fought like one mage in that whole encounter. Take that shield. Take that item. We don't know what it does. Do we have anything else new? No. And then it would be difficult to justify changing any of what we start with. But there is definitely an argument around, say, doing the strength scenario just to take this battered helmet to get it upgraded and trying to get gold on the strength scenario while doing that. Yeah. We're in a very weird position now because technically it feels like we're closer than ever to just getting lucky and winning this challenge, but also we may just end up spending another hour or two trying to win this challenge when it might be wiser just to get gold tokens on some of the other challenges and continue to reveal and upgrade cards. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and keep on watching. Thanks.